While discussing section 64, we came to know that in some cases, even the secondary evidence of a original document will be permitted in the court of law in the evidence stage. That's why we have to discuss section 65 in detail to understand the cases in which secondary evidence relating to the documents may be given. Section 65 says that secondary evidence may be given of the existence, condition, or contents of a document in the following cases. That means there are some cases have been listed in which secondary evidence of a original document is also permitted in the court of law to produce as an evidence. When the original, that means the first circumstance we are going to discuss now, when the original is shown or appears to be in the possession or power of the person against whom the document is sought to be proved. Say, for example, if I have to prove some fact before the court of law, and the document which I have to prove before the court of law is in the possession of the other side only. When the document is in the other side's possession, then I cannot bring the original document which is there in already the person who is against me in the case. So basically, it is the notion that he will not produce the original document. That's why I need to take a permission from the court to produce the secondary evidence of the original document so that I can prove the contents of the original document. Or of any person out of reach of means if the document is in a possession, in the control or power of a person who is out of reach of the court, who cannot be reached by the court, if the document is in such a person's hand, then also I can produce the secondary evidence before the court of law. Are not subjected to the process of the court, that means there is a person who is not at all subjected to the process of this honorable court, then also I can seek the permission for production of the secondary evidence of that original document which is not there in my control. Next one is, or of any person legally bound to produce it, or of any person legally bound to produce it, and when after the notice mentioned under section 66 such person does not produce it. Even after the court has given the notice under section 66 for production of such document, that person has not produced it before the court of law, then the person who is interested to prove the contents of that document can seek the permission of the court for producing the secondary evidence of the same copy of the original which is there in the person who has not given the document to the court of law even after the service of notice under section 66 of this enactment. The next circumstance B says that when the existence, condition, or contents of the original have been proved to be admitted in writing by the person against whom it is proved or by his representative in the interest. When any content, if I would like to prove before the court of law, the contents of same document have been admitted by the other side in writing, then also I can deviate from producing the original document. I can simply request the court to believe the same contents by accepting the secondary evidence of the original document. When the original has been destroyed or lost, or when the party offering evidence of its contents cannot for any other reason not arising from his own default or neglect produce it in reasonable time. That means I want to produce the document before the court of law. I am interested to produce the document before the court of law, but because of some uh, unavoidable reasons, I can say, it is not there in my control to bring that document before the court of law. That's why in this unreasonable condition I can request the court to allow me for producing the secondary copy of that original document. Next one is when the original is of such a nature as not to be easily movable. That means there are some documentary evidences which are there in the bulky size vested with some government departments or officers which we cannot bring it before the court of law. In that case, it is not possible to bring the original before the court of law. We can only produce the certified copy or the authorized copies from the concerned department. Next one is when the original is a public document within the meaning of section 74. if the document sought to be proved before the court of law is a public document available in the public domain, then I need not to bring the original document. I can only bring the certified copy of the same. That is also enough evidence, that is secondary evidence is permitted. When the original is a document of which a certified copy is permitted by the act itself or by any other law in the force in India to be given in evidence. That means if law permits that secondary evidence of any particular document is permitted in the court of law, that time also secondary evidence is permitted. We can take the examples of records of rights or khata certificates, pahani certificates, which are actually original documents are vested in the concerned departments, but they are not giving the original registers to the courts. They are giving only copy of it after certifying that it is compared with the original and found correct. That copy is no doubt secondary evidence, but still it is admissible in the court of law because secondary evidence is permitted here by the law itself. The last circumstance is that when the originals consists of numerous accounts or other documents which cannot conveniently be examined in the court of law, and the fact to be proved is the general result of the whole connection. In a case A, C, D, as we discussed earlier, any secondary evidence of the contents of the document is admissible. In case of B, the written admission is admissible. In case of E or F, a certified copy of the document but not other kind of secondary evidence is admissible. That means evidence may be given as to the general result of the documents by any person who has examined them and who is skilled in the examination of such documents. So mainly what we have to see here is that all the circumstances what we have studied from A to G, they clearly says that whenever either it is not possible to bring the original or original is not available, or it is not possible for one or the other reason to bring the original document before the court of law, then secondary document is permitted. When the original document is not necessary to bring before the court of law, then secondary evidence is permitted. When the original is impossible to bring before the court of law, and also when the secondary evidence itself is the sufficient to prove the contents of original document, in these cases the secondary evidence can be given before the court of law. That's how section 65 clearly establishes that when the secondary evidence can be admitted. But in connection to section 65, we have to also understand section 65A, special provisions as to evidence relating to the electronic records. When we study electronic records under section 65A, we have to simultaneously read section 65B, wherein admissibility of the electronic records is actually permitted. When the electronic records are evidence before the court of law, then there must be a certificate has to be produced before the court of law along with that evidence under section 65B, digital evidence or electronic record. Along with certificate under section 65B, if it is furnished before the court of law, then only it is admitted. We will discuss section 65B in detail in the next session.